Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
Good day, learners. You are welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. My name is Oyeno Emmanuel Shion, and I'll be taking you history. Today, we'll be looking at the first democratic civilian government in Nigeria. First democratic civilian government in Nigeria, which was from the period 1960 up to 1966, when the military took over. At the end of this lesson, students will 1. Describe the concept democracy and civilian government. 2. Students will identify the major political parties in the first Nigerian democratic government. Also, students will discuss the reasons for the introduction of the first democratic system in Nigeria. We'll also examine the features of parliamentary system of government in Nigeria. And lastly, we will explain the achievements and failures of the first democratic system in Nigeria. Going forward, we'll look at the concept of democracy and civilian government. What is democracy? Democracy is a system of government where supreme power is vested in the people and exercised by them directly or indirectly through representative government. Usually, democracy involves periodic election. Democracy has to do with a system of government that has to do with the people. Power is vested on the people, and the people rule directly or indirectly through representative. Yes. Also, in democracy, the people hold their leaders accountable. There is freedom of speech and other fundamental human rights. So, when Nigeria gained our independence in 1960, we practiced a more democratic system of government. What is civilian government? Civilian government is a form of government where political power is held by elected representative. You agree with me that everybody cannot be the president, everybody cannot be the governor, everybody cannot be the Senate president in Nigeria. What we can only do is to elect some certain people that will represent the people at the end of affairs. So civilian government has to do with a form of government where political power is held by elected representatives who are accountable to the citizens. Unlike military government, there's nothing like election in military system of government. The government changed through coup d'etat, which is the forceful overthrowing of government. But in a democratic system, there is change of government only through election. Okay, going forward, it is also important to note that the period of 1960 to 1966, Nigeria operated a parliamentary system of government. What is parliamentary system of government? Parliamentary system of government is a system of government that has two executive head. One will serve as the head of state, and the other will serve as head of government. In the case of Nigeria, as at 1960, it was Tafawa Balewa and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Major political parties in the first Nigerian democratic government and their leaders. We have the MPC, Northern People's Congress, and the leader was Sir Ahmadu Bello, when Tafawa Balewa was the deputy. Also, we have the National Congress of Nigerian Citizens, NCNC, which was led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. We have the Action Group that was led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and we have the Northern Element Progressive Union, NEPU, led by Aminu Kano. So these, we have other political parties, but these are the major political parties that were in place in 1960 up to 1966. Major political actors in the first Nigerian democratic civilian government. Number one is Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. He played a pivotal role in ensuring and shaping the early years of Nigerian independence. And he later became the first prime minister. Number two is Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was the leader of National Congress of Nigerian Citizens. He was also a prominent figure in the first democratic civilian government in Nigeria, where he served as the first executive president after independence. Another one is Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He is also the leader of Action Group, as said earlier, and ensured that he advocated for a strong federal system of government. He was also known for his intellectual capacity and acumen. Aminu Kano was also a prominent politician as at that time, who was the leader of NEPU in Nigeria. Also, Ladoke Akintola from the party Nigerian National Democratic, he was formerly a member of Action Group. Later, he went ahead to form Nigerian National Democratic Party. So, Samuel Ladoke Akintola served as the premier of Western Region as at 1960 up to 1966, when he was killed during the first military coup d'etat. Reasons. What are the reasons for the introduction of first Nigerian democratic civilian government? Number one is national independence. 2, popular demand. 3, international pressure. 4, political stability. 5, economic development. If you remember the definition of democracy, you will know that it has to do with the people. Democracy is surrounded around the people. So there was popular demand for a democratic government that will be accountable to the people. That was the reason why it was introduced and preferred to be the first system of government that will be used. Then, political stability. The introduction of democratic government was seen as a way to ensure that there is stability in political affairs of Nigeria. Also, a democratic system of government was seen to be the best to promote economic development in Nigeria. We have different systems of government, but democracy was seen as the most suitable system to run a large country like Nigeria. Features of parliamentary system of government. Said it earlier that parliamentary system of government was that type of government that Nigeria used during the first rule immediately after the Nigeria's independence. Number one feature is dual executive. Said it earlier that In parliamentary system of government, they have two executive heads. One is the head of state, the other is head of government. And also, this type of executive can also be known as the bicephalous executive. You know, we have about three types of executive: unicephalous, bicephalous, and multicephalous. So, bicephalous executive is the type of executive that has two executive heads. That was what Nigeria operated. Number two is parliamentary supremacy. Yes, the parliamentary system is characterized with the principle of parliamentary supremacy, which means that the legislature or the parliament, they hold the highest power within the government. The friction of power in the sense that between the legislative and the executive branch, the prime minister of the cabinet is drawn from the parliament or the legislative. This means not that an election, a separate election will be held in order to choose. No, there's friction of power. Then collective responsibility. All the responsibility have to be collective. Unlike a presidential system of government, there is individual responsibility, but in parliamentary is a collective one. Then also power to dissolve parliament. Yes, in some cases, there's power to dissolve political parliaments. Moving forward, achievements of the first democratic civilian government. The government of Tafawa Balewa and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, what are their achievements? One, independence. They were those people who fought for the attainment of Nigerians' independence. Stable political system. Yes, despite challenges, the Balewa's government managed to maintain what? And manage relative political stability in the early years of Nigeria's independence. Economic growth, international recognition. Yes, for you to be a nation or a country, you have to be recognized all over the world. Balewa ensured that Nigeria is internationally recognized. Regional development. He also ensured that different regions developed well. Failures. There are some shortcomings of the first democratic civilian government in Nigeria. Regional disparity, ethnic tensions, economic inequality, corruption and nepotism, lack of strong issues. Corruption and nepotism was one of the shortcomings of the first democratic civilian government in Nigeria. Practice question. This is a question in WAEC 2014. The question goes thus: highlight any 4 causes of the fall of the First Republic. Number 1, there was abuse of power at the center. There was tribalism. I'm from this particular tribe. Oh, those that will be in my cabinet, most of them has to come from my tribe as well. 3, minority groups. They felt they were marginalized and cheated. They felt they were marginalized and cheated and not being carried along like the majority group. Also, politics were played along ethnic lines. And lastly, there was widespread connection and corruption in the Nigerian public service. This is the end of today's class.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
I hope you've learned something today. Thank you for listening. For any observation, feedback, or suggestion, kindly reach us on any of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thank you once again.